Now at the UN Security Council on Israel-Gaza conflict, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said, and I quote, that all acts of terrorism are unlawful and unjustifiable, whether they target people in Nairobi or Bali, in Mumbai, New York or Kibbutz Be'eri. They are just unlawful and unjustifiable, whether they are carried out by ISIS, by Boko Haram, by Lashkar-e-Taiba or by, in fact, Hamas. They are unlawful and unjustifiable, whether victims are targeted for their faith, ethnicity, nationality or any other reason. Listen in to what Antony Blinken actually has to say.
As this Council and the UN General Assembly have repeatedly affirmed, all acts of terrorism are unlawful and unjustifiable. They're unlawful and unjustifiable whether they target people in Nairobi or Bali, in Luxor, Istanbul or Mumbai, in New York or Kibbutz Be'eri. They're unlawful and unjustifiable whether they're carried out by ISIS, by Boko Haram, by Al-Shabaab, by Lashkar-e-Taiba, or by Hamas. They're unlawful and unjustifiable whether victims are targeted for their faith, their ethnicity, their nationality, or any other reason. And this Council has a responsibility to denounce member states that arm, that fund, and train Hamas, or any other terrorist group that carries out such horrific acts.
CNN News 18 Siddhant continues to stay with us on the broadcast. Siddhant, coming back to you on this particular issue, we just heard Antony Blinken giving out a stern message against Hamas. What does that exactly connote for Israel versus Hamas war now?
Well, see, U.S. has been doing diplomacy in West Asia, maybe from last 15 days, meeting all stakeholders and perhaps listening to them, what do they have to say on the war which is going on between Hamas and Israel. And in last 19 days, there has not been any solution or perhaps ceasefire or anything substantial achieved. Now the matter is before the UN Security Council, where all these countries are expected to put forth their point of view. What do they have to say? In fact, America, a close ally and a friend of Israel, is talking more about terror, is talking about terror groups, and he has in fact given reference of attacks on Mumbai, 26/11. He also spoke about attacks that took place in Israel or any other part of the world. He also mentioned some few terror organizations. So one thing is clear, that maybe America may be talking about the two-state solution. America may be talking about humanitarian crisis in Gaza. America may be or perhaps lobbying for the humanitarian aid inside Gaza. But America is calling the attack on Israel as a terror attack and terror strike, and that is perhaps is the biggest takeaway from Antony Blinken's speech, his address to the United Nations Security Council, because he started by calling it a terror strike, and that is perhaps going to work in favor of Israel as far as UN Security Council is concerned.
Right, Siddhant. Thank you so much for bringing in all those crucial details. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates. But